welcome to Divine Divas, Diamond Paintings, and More. Today is our WIP and CHAT, and it is Monday, June the 29th, I believe. And we're doing our WIP and CHAT on America's 250th anniversary. I'll put a picture up here if I haven't already what the actual picture looks like without all my washi tape on here to do everything. But in essence, it says 1776 to 2026. Has a big eagle, some stars, and of course the eagle is holding the wheat. And it says America 250th anniversary. So I'm working on this for the 4th of July. So we are going, I've started down here at the bottom, but then I've decided to go up here to the top because I'm going to roll it like this. And maybe, I don't know, I guess I'll still do the bottom. I just don't want any of the beads to come off, which I've had a couple to do that, but I don't have that happen too often. So I guess we'll just go ahead and do this one, do that square. And while I tell you all about my week last week, it was a very eventful week. Had a lot of fun with my sister last week. Come home, me and my mom went out, and sorry, that was a lot of noise. Me and my mom went out and lost my phone. Ha ha ha. But anyways, so give me just a minute. Let me get my camera pointed down here so you guys can see a little better, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So if you all notice, I don't have my nails done today. That is because I have a boo-boo on my thumb, and like my cuticle, and I'm gonna have to soak them and fix them here in a little while. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. Be very careful when you do this because you can cut your actual canvas. I have done that a few times, and that is not good. And I can't do a straight line hardly to save my life. But you know what else is new, right? Okay, so I cut that. Then I'm going to take my tweezers and get it off of here. Alrighty. Well, this ain't wanting to do very good today, but it's okay. We'll get it. There we go. Got it. Okay, so today I'm going to use my diamond art pen. Let me show it to you. Most of you who do Diamond Art Club know this pen. I love this pen. I'm not crazy about the 4 placer. I wish I had an 8 or 10, but I've been using this one and it's been working just fine. So I'm going to take the tip off there. And we are going to get started. For H, number 14. So how has your all's weekend been? Did you have a good one? I hope so. I had a good one. I was pretty much lazy all weekend, and I absolutely loved it. I don't get to be lazy too often, especially with my mom's here, but my mom is staying at my aunt's house right now. She went to go visit her because her brother was coming in from Florida. So, you know, that gets her out of her house and helps her to have a little time with her family. And so I drove her over there. It's about an hour and a half where her sister lives away from us. So that's good, you know. She'll get to spend some time with her and her family. I already said that. I tend to repeat myself sometimes. So, let me tell y'all about this week we had. Me and my sister had. Uh-oh, sorry. So, she had to go to Ohio, to Cleveland. I don't know, she told me I could tell her story. So, I know I told you guys last time I wasn't going to tell her story. That was her story to tell, but she's like, well, I don't care. So, I'm going to tell her story. So, when we were in our 40s, I'll just go ahead and start there. she started getting sick around probably 41, 40, something like that. Might even been before that. Anyways, make a long story short, they said she has Sjogren's disease. That's an autoimmune disease. And they thought she had lupus because Sjogren's and lupus is a whole lot alike. But she doesn't have lupus. She has Sjogren's, and then she has a whole lot of other medical issues going on with her. But anyway, it got her to the point in 2019, she got to the point where she couldn't breathe. She would have these attacks where she just couldn't breathe, and she would pass out, and I mean, all kinds of stuff was going on. Well, her lungs were really, really bad, and she's never smoked. Nobody's around her smoking, her husband or kids, nobody smokes in her house. And so we couldn't figure out what was going on. But anyway, make a long story short, she had been intubated 12 or 13 times. And they told her they couldn't do it anymore because her throat was swelling up and they couldn't get the tube down anymore. So she would need a trach. She absolutely refused to get a trach. She said, nope, if I have to get a trach, just let me die. I don't want it. I can't handle it. I do not want a trach. Me and her daughter, we didn't fight with her, but we prayed about it and we talked to her so many times. Y'all don't know what I'm doing, but I'm getting more, beads is what I'm doing. And when I talk, I'm slower. Anyway, my niece and my sister golly, I keep hitting this, I'm sorry. They found a place in Cleveland where you could get what's called a stoma. A stoma, I should say it like that, is like the plugs you put in balls, like a basketball or a yoga ball or something like that. You have that little plug that you plug it and it, keeps the ball blowed up. Well, it's kind of like that. So she doesn't have to wear a trach. She doesn't have to talk into that little microphone thing like you would if you had a trach. She just pops this little thing in and out of her neck. So she decided to get that. That's a very rare procedure. There's not that many people in the United States. I don't know if anywhere else, but there's not that many people in the United States have these because they're not very worldwide known. I think the guy that invented it maybe or something, he moved back to somewhere overseas, but he worked at Cleveland Clinic there in Cleveland, Ohio, and that's where she had this procedure done back in 2000, the later part of 2019. So her niece and I were so happy. We went with her, and particularly me. Her daughter had to go back home because she had to go to work, but I wasn't working at that time, So I went with her to learn how to take care of this stoma with her. Really simple, really easy. I mean, you just gotta clean it out. I mean, it's kind of gross, especially at first till you get used to it. But she has a hole in her neck, in her throat, and you have to clean around the hole with peroxide and some alcohol, and you have to make sure you got gloves on, of course, and then you have to clean the little plastic part, which is called the stoma, and it's much, much easier to take care of. She hasn't had to have, to be intubated since then, and it's a good thing, because what happens is if she ever had to be intubated, they could just go down her throat if they had to. But now that she's got this, they've never had to. This was a total game changer. It was a lifesaver and a miracle for her. She's lived with this for 6 years now, and she's done absolutely wonderful. But every year we go up there to get a new one, and just to see the doctor and make sure everything's all right, which it always is, thank the Lord. And this is mine and her like little mini vacation. we go up there and she rents a hotel room. This time we stayed from Sunday night until Wednesday day. Right, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, till Wednesday morning, actually, I should say. So on Sunday, sorry. Well, actually, it started Saturday night. I went over her house and spent the night. And my foot was hurting so bad. My ankle, on my right ankle. The one I have sprained like a million times and broke once. It was hurting so bad. I like to never went to sleep. I took ibuprofen. I really ain't nothing much I can take besides ibuprofen or Tylenol. You know, Tylenol don't do nothing. So, but I took ibuprofen and I just laid there and rubbed my ankle and, I didn't think about putting ice on it. I didn't think about putting heat on it. I didn't think about none of that because it was late and I was tired and I just wanted to go to sleep. But eventually, about a couple hours after I took that ibuprofen, I went to sleep. Okay, let's see. So Sunday morning we left to go to Cleveland. And we have so much fun every time we go do something like this because all we do is talk. Talk. We sound like two cackling hens. Talking, laughing, giggling. But anyway, we stop little ways in Kentucky or West Virginia somewhere all the time and we eat. And then we hit the road and get back on the road. I'm the one who always drives because she is more of a nervous type person and she really don't like driving in traffic. I don't mind driving in traffic. I love to drive. I don't care if it's a ton of traffic like up in Baltimore City or if it's like some little country back road. I don't care to drive at all. Nothing bothers me like that. Thank God. I hope it never does. But anyways, I know this is probably going to be a long video because I got a lot to tell. I have a lot to talk about today. So, anyways, we got to the hotel right at dinner time, which was good because, like 5:30, because they serve dinner there for, well, I'm going to say for free. It depends on what package you get. And she got the package, I guess, that we had breakfast and dinner, there at the hotel for free. If you want to say free. And, so we went and put our luggage upstairs. We were on the 7th floor. We went and put our luggage upstairs, and then we went back downstairs to eat. They had some pretty good dinners. They had taco night one night. I can't remember everything they had, but I know they had taco night one night. One night they had, oh shoot, I forgot. I don't know. Anyway, it was good. And then we went back up to our room, unpacked, and just chilled out for the rest of the night. We were just exhausted from that drive, So her appointment was supposed to have been on Monday, and they changed it till Tuesday because the doctor couldn't come in or something. So that was fine. And so Monday, we were just like, what are we going to do today? We had the whole day to do something. We didn't know what to do. So we went, ate breakfast, of course. Then we went shopping. Our favorite thing to do, of course, in the whole world, just about, is to go shopping. So I was on the hunt for different diamond paintings. I didn't care what else we did that day. But she has so much stuff. She's like me, but she does resin stuff. And of course, I do diamond painting and I haven't done no crocheting or knitting or anything like that in quite a while. So, I have a ton of yarn. So yarn really don't interest me anymore like it used to. But anyway, I never could find any diamond paintings. There are some people who can find diamond paintings at thrift stores. I've never found a diamond painting at a thrift store. But I did find one at the Dollar Tree. I forgot about that one. I found the mushroom one that I didn't have from the Dollar Tree. That's the only one I didn't have. And I found it. I was like, yay! So I got that one. And I got the cutest little dog for 4th of July. It's just a little, decor thing. I'll show you that when I get this done. I'll try to remember to show you that little dog. Because I got the camera zoomed in right now. You won't be able to see him if I put him up this close. I'd have to do him, like this. That just probably wouldn't work. We went to a thrift store. Oh, yeah, I bought a sweater because it was a little cool up there. And, of course, my sister, she keeps the room really cold, just like my kids do here at the house. Freezes me. And I thought, I forgot to take a sweater or anything to warm up because I get cold. And it's a good thing I bought that sweater because it was very cold in their room. And, when you're with someone who gets very hot, it's much easier for me to put clothes on, a blanket on, or whatever, than it is for them to undress. Yeah, that's a whole lot better. So, that's what I got. Oh, and a pair of shoes. I got a pair of shoes. These shoes were so comfortable. I don't know what kind they are, but they have these little... They're kind of like Dr. Scholl's, but they're not called Dr. Scholl's. They're something else. They're really nice. They have... it's comfort for your feet. My feet, where I have plantar fasciitis, it's really hard to get a shoe that really feels good, but this one did. It has these little bumps in the heels and in the middle. I don't know what you call them. It's like if you took one of these drills and you made it like really, like the size of a dime almost. Well, not a dime. I take that back. A little bigger than this. Anyway, it felt good. Oh, sorry. I hit this thing all the time. Then, let's see. We went to a place called Rose's Department Store. I don't know if you ever heard of that. They used to be pretty popular back in the 80s. That was where I had my first job at, was a Rose's Department Store. I worked as a cashier. I worked everywhere in that store. I've done a little bit of everything there. You name it, I probably did it. I was the front desk manager once, all the way down to working in shoes. But, uh-oh, I got too many drills on there. I got 4 and I only needed 3. Well, let's just take one of these and put it right there. Or no, let's... Okay, well, that's fine. Oops. Anyway, we went to the Rose's Department Store. I didn't even know... I know 2 that exist. I didn't know there was any more, really. But this one did. And, oh, it was the worst time to go in that store, I'm telling you, because I was so hungry. By this time, it was like 3:30, and I thought, I'm not going to eat nothing because 2 more hours we can eat for free at the hotel, So me and her, neither one didn't want to spend no money to buy anything to eat. We're just like, we'll wait. But, shoot, I spent so much money in Rose's, I could have bought a dinner cheaper than what I did. Because I'm telling you all, I went to the stupid snack aisle like a dum-dum. And I got potato chips. I got popcorn. I got barbecued pork skins. Now, mind you, all this stuff I should not be eating. Okay, none of it. But I got it anyways. And what else did I get? Oh, I got some little Mike and Ike candies. I don't know if y'all remember those. I got some marshmallow candies. I got, not candies, but marshmallow little twist or something they're called. I got, oh my gosh, I don't know. I got a few other things. And then I got some drinks. I found some apple juice, like Macintosh apples, which my mom loves. I found some Pink Lady apples, which my mom loves. Juice. Apple juice made out of those apples. And I don't know. Gosh, I probably spent $50 doing that. I can't remember now. That's ridiculous. And I told my sister, I said, look at what I got. She got some stuff too, but she didn't go crazy like I did. She can save her money better than I can. I'm not that way normally. I like to spend money too much. Because I'm like, shoot, I'm just going to live for today because I might not be here tomorrow. And I want to have fun while I'm here. I know that's not a good thing to think about if you think about your future and you don't have any retirement, which is what I've done. Even as an accountant, pretty much my entire life. I know how to save money. I know what to do with money, but it's my money. With other people's money, I don't do that. But with my money, I like to spend it. Which, coming this month, I got to stop that because when my granddaughter has her 18th birthday, I'm planning on taking her somewhere special. Where? I don't know. But I want to get on a plane with her because she's never rode a plane. And she wants to ride a plane. And I'd like to take her somewhere like to a Hobbit house. An Airbnb Hobbit house. Because she likes that stuff. But I had to look into all that because it depends on where my plane takes us. I thought about going to Orlando. Because I do know the plane is... they got tickets available for the times that I'm wanting to go, which is in November. So if you guys know any good Hobbit house Airbnbs, let me know, would you please? That'd be great. So anyways, her birthday's not till November. That's when we're going to go. So anyways, back to the Cleveland. Let's see. On Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesdays when she had her doctor appointment. So, we went downstairs, ate breakfast like always, and went to her doctor appointment, which was about 30 minutes away from the hotel. Only because of the traffic. If it hadn't been for the traffic, it would have been okay. But you know what? Instead of my GPS taking us down the interstate, it took us on these back roads. Which was okay, because we still got there. But we got to see a lot of scenic stuff. It was really cool. We seen a great old big park. I mean, this park. She said this must be what it's like to be at the park in New York City. Because it's the only place with the trees. I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. But it was really nice. But anyway, we went to her doctor's. Of course, everything was okay, They examined her throat and everything was fine. She got her new stoma. And so we left there and we went back. Did we go to the castle that day? Yeah, we went to the castle that day. It was called Squire's Castle. I'll put that up here too so you can see it. It was really cool. It was a place where I don't remember. I was just so fascinated with the castle. I forgot what it was what it was originally for. But I'll put all that I'll put all that, up here on the screen so you can see it and read it. I'll give you a minute to read about it. Okay, so we went there. Check that out. That was the coolest place ever. I thought we were going to get to go in a castle and see the furniture in there and everything, but it didn't have anything in it. It was just a hollowed out castle. But it used to be a not hollowed out castle, which was really cool. And you go in places like that and it's like, wonder what it was like to really live here. But it was really cold in the wintertime because if you'll notice, I'll put pictures up here. There was 4 rooms that had fireplaces. And I thought, that's had to have been really, really cold in the wintertime. I mean, can you imagine big castle like that? And I'm sure it had an upstairs, but it didn't have an upstairs in it when we went and looked at it. I'm sorry, I keep hitting this. And it's the way I've got it angled here. And I don't know, I just thought it was pretty cool. And we took all kinds of pictures. We took more pictures than what I'm showing you right now, of course. But, yeah, it was really cool. And then we got to walk around the park there that it was in. They had all kinds of trails that you could have went on. But neither one of us wore tennis shoes. I had those shoes on that I got at the thrift store. And I was like, these are comfortable, but I don't know if they'd be comfortable to walk on a trail. She was like, yeah, I don't think mine would either. So, of course, we didn't go on no trails. Now, if we'd had the proper attire on, we would have went. And also, I had pants on, not shorts. She had shorts on, but I had pants on. I was like, I'll get hot. So, we didn't go. But, maybe next time we go, we'll remember and we'll go walking on some of the trails because they looked really, really cool. They had bridges on one. I don't know. You just go hiking, you know, take you a picnic with you or whatever. Let's see, what else did we do that day? We went, oh yeah, we went back to the hotel. No, we went to another thrift store first before we went back there. And I got 2 books and a little plaque. I don't know if you can see this. I'll put it right here. It says, it's really big on here. It says, be happy, live the life you love. I got that. I thought that was really cute. And I think that's it. Then we went back to the hotel. And we went swimming. Well, she went swimming. I got in that swimming pool and it was cold. I was like, no, I don't like cold. So, and there was kids in there playing with water guns. Because, you know, they had been there before us and they were playing water guns and splashing everywhere, which I don't care if they splash myself. But I just thought it was funny because my sister was like, oh my gosh, the kids are splashing. I said, it's just water. You know, big deal, it's just water. But I didn't want to get in there. I did get up there to my waist, and then I got too cold, and I was like, forget it. Nope, I'm getting out. I'm going in the hot tub. She said, okay, go ahead. I'll see you in there in a minute. And I was like, okay. So I went over to the hot tub, and it felt so good. Oh my gosh, it felt so good. I love the hot tub. My bones, my muscles are just like, oh yes, this is what we've needed. So I stayed in there probably about an hour. And she stayed in the pool probably about an hour. But she came over there when she got done. And she was like, you ready to go? I said, are you not getting in the hot tub? She goes, nah. I don't really want to get in the hot tub. Because, you know, she's probably already burning up. And I was like, okay. So we went back up to the room. Got dressed. Went down to eat dinner. And went back up to the room. Chilled out for the rest of the night. And let me tell you, I'll put it up here. We seen the prettiest sunset ever. It was so, so beautiful. Put it on the screen if I don't forget and let you see it. It was just gorgeous. So then on Wednesday, we got up early that morning, went and ate us some breakfast. Then we proceeded to come home. And we was trying to hurry because her husband and her had their anniversary on Tuesday. They've been married 36 years. And he called and he was just all sad because she wasn't there on their anniversary. And I was like, well, you know, I said, you're going to be home tomorrow so y'all can celebrate the day after. And she's like, I know. But she talked about him. You know, we talked about him and her and how they met and all this other kind of stuff, which is sweet. He couldn't take her because he had to work. But even if he didn't have to work, that's mine and her thing. You know, that's their sister time to do stuff. We just had a blast. But anyhow, oops. Getting more than one thing out here. We headed home Wednesday. We only stopped, I think we only ate one time before we got to her house. What else did we do? I think that's it. I took her home. Then I came home and I went to Long John Silver's because I was getting hungry because we hadn't eaten in a while. And so I got some Long John Silver's. I came home. I went over to the neighbors and got Lilybug, you know, the little doggy. Brought her over here. And I let her spend the night that night. Which worked out really good. She slept in the bed with me all night long because my neighbor was gone. She had to work in North Carolina, I think, that night. And her husband, they work together. They own a company. So, what else? I think that's all that happened on Wednesday. Thursday. Thursday was funny. I'll tell you about Thursday real quick, and then I'll probably get off of here. Because I can't think of anything else. But anyway, Thursday, I had to take my mom around. You know, because I always do that at least once a week. Well, she wasn't going to be here on Sunday yesterday. So I had to take her to Walmart to get her medicine. And I was like, Mom, can't we go Friday? Because I really just wanted to rest on Thursday. She goes, well, and when she gets it in her mind that she needs to go somewhere that day, she really, really needs to go. She can't wait another day. So I went ahead and took her to Walmart on Thursday. And she got her medicine. And I had something to drop off at the UPS store anyway. So I dropped that off at the UPS store, came home. Me and my mom did because I was going to give her some stuff here at my house. She was needing some luggage to go on her trip with her sister to her sister's house, whatever. And she let my daughter borrow it, which I forgot to tell you about that. She let my daughter borrow her suitcase. She had 2 suitcases. She let my daughter borrow those. And she didn't have anything. And my daughter wasn't going to be back till Friday. Yeah, she came back Friday, but she was going to be... my mom was going to go up her sister's on Friday, but she didn't go till Saturday morning. But anyway, we thought she was going to go Friday. So she needed some luggage. So she came here to my house to get some luggage and stuff. Well, while she was here, I called I don't know, I was needing my phone for something. And I couldn't find it. Oh my gosh, I thought I lost my phone. My mom called my phone 100 times. We were looking for it in my car. We were looking for it in the house. We could not find it anywhere. And I was about ready to panic, y'all. Because I was like, all my stuff is on my phone. Which nobody can't get in it unless they know the code. However, there are crazy people out there who know how to crack codes. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want anybody to crack the code and, figure out stuff on my phone. Because, you know how it is. You got your credit cards on your phone, on your wallet. Even if I didn't have my credit cards on my phone, they could have found it out. So I was about ready to have a fit. So my mom said, maybe it's at Walmart. Let's go see if somebody's turned it in at Walmart. I said, no, I had it at the UPS store because they had to get they had to scan the barcode thing. She was like, okay. So we went back there. The guy there called it. Nobody had seen it. But he called it. UPS stores aren't very big. It's a small store. And still couldn't find it. So he took my number down and my name and whatever. And he said, if we see it, we'll give you a call. And I said, okay, good. We come back to my house. And I was like, call it again, Mom, call it again. She said, okay. Before she even called it, my phone started beeping. Because if it doesn't, I wear a Freestyle Libre for my diabetes. And if it can't find me, it'll start beeping. And we were praying the whole time anyway. Lord, please let us find this. Please let us find this. And I was like, angels, please point it out. Let me find it. Let me find it. Please, if somebody took it, just get it out of their hands and take it back to my house and put it somewhere. Anyways, it started beeping. And I was like, oh, do you hear that? I hear my phone beeping. I hear my phone beeping. It was in here in my room underneath my laundry basket. And I was like, how did it get underneath my laundry basket? The only thing I know is I put my phone in my bra sometimes. And sometimes it'll fall out. So that's the only thing I know. It fell out. And I've moved that laundry basket somehow, getting my mama some luggage or whatever. And that's the only thing I can think of. Because other than that, I don't know. So I finally found it, thank God. We were so relieved. And then I took her home. Then I came back home and got lily bugs and came back home and stayed here with her. Then Friday and Saturday and Sunday, I did nothing but stay here at the house and love on little Lilybug and spent some time with my family because they came back from their vacation. They went to Charlotte, North Carolina to Carowinds and they had a blast. They stayed at an Airbnb. They had all kinds of fun up there. So yeah. I think that's all I got to tell y'all today. So I'm going to keep working on this because I'm going to have this done by Saturday. I'm going to try to have it done by Friday. So everybody can see it. Which I will show you this when I get it done. I will. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And then don't forget to be kind. Be kind. Be kind. Where's my finger? Be kind. Love like Jesus, which is unconditional. Laugh, because laughter is the best medicine. And smile, because whoever you smile at may make their day. They may smile back at you and make your day. So until Wednesday, don't forget to come back Wednesday for our Temu haul. So until Wednesday, I'll see you then. Be blessed. Bye.